Good afternoon. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of Long Meadow High School, it is my privilege to welcome everyone to a very special day in our history. As we dedicate this beautiful facility, I would like to acknowledge and express appreciation for the presence of our school committee, select board, our superintendent, Marie Doyle, members of our school building committee, representatives from Gilbane, our builders, OMR, the architects, and Jocelyn Lesser, the project managers, to our parents, community members, and all other distinguished guests. Each of you has contributed to the success of this project, and we will be forever grateful for all of your efforts. At this time, I would invite our junior class president, Anthony Ferreira, to please go to the flagpole to listen to pledges of allegiance. And when I would ask any other student, K-12 in Long Meadow, who is here today, to please join Anthony. Before our students proceed with the pledge, I'd like to acknowledge a town resident, Wilbur Swan, who arrived here last week with a donation of this beautiful new flag. He took a look at our old one and said, that just doesn't do. So Wilbur, if you're here, we'd like to thank you, and we're proud to have our students conduct the first pledge under using your generous donation. Actually, I see Wilbur. Wilbur, thank you. Anthony, whenever you're ready. Thank you, students. And now I'd like to introduce Molly Carolyn, a member of the senior class, who will sing the national anthem for us. Molly?
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Saint, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Molly. Please be seated, thanks. To begin today's program, I am pleased to once again introduce Anthony Ferreira, who'd like to welcome you on behalf of the student body. Our students are certainly the greatest beneficiaries of this beautiful campus, and they are the stars of the show, as you can just see. I can tell you that they do wonderful things here each and every day, and as a community, we can be very proud to have given them a facility that supports their efforts and hard work. Anthony?
Well, welcome to our awesome new school. As Mr. Birdie just said, I'm Anthony Ferreira, and I'm the junior class president. And this school is pretty awesome. But I will admit, it was a bit of a culture shock coming from the old school. And okay, so for example, with the old school, we used chalkboards. And with the new school, every classroom has a smartboard, which I swear is something out of Star Trek. Because I can take my phone, and if I want to show the class something, I can push a button, and it's on the whiteboard. Just like that. I know, it's a real thing. Also, the old auditorium during concert was hotter than the sun. And the new auditorium is air conditioned. It's very nice. It's very nice in that auditorium. Lastly, you no longer have to walk 14 and a half miles to get to the main office from the front door because it's right there. That's so nice. So on behalf of the student body here at LHS, I'd like to thank everyone that was instrumental in having this school done, and especially the town, because your approval of this school tells us that you value our education, and that's pretty cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Today, you'll be hearing from several people about this wonderful new facility, but I'd like to begin as a representative for our staff and students to express a sincere thank you to everyone who made this dream a reality. It takes many stakeholders working together to have such a wonderful project like this new LHS to, first of all, become a reality, and more importantly, to become a facility that enhances learning opportunities for our children. Initial thanks needs to go out to Superintendent Marie Doyle, who, in spite of all her responsibilities, K-12, focused a great deal of her time to make sure that the finished product set the standard for the first 21st rate school here in Long Meadow. Just ask Tony, who is our construction coordinator, about the many Marie Tony to-do lists that he would receive each week. So we wanted to thank you, Marie. Thanks to the school building committee, especially our co-chairs, Bobby Barquette and Peter Greenberg. All of these individuals devoted countless hours that helped to assure the success of this endeavor. Bobby and Peter spent so much time here that we decided to make them honorary Lancers and would like to present them with the necessary apparel that they're going to need if they want to walk around this school from now on. So Anthony, I need you to step up and go to work one more time and present to them. It's here, undercover. So if you gentlemen would come up and let Anthony present to you your Long Meadow gear.
You're already there.
Oh, no. Oh, I had one job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Anthony.
Let me clean this. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You're now honorary Lancers. Make sure you do your homework. Again, we thank you for both of you. We thank you for the outstanding work you did on behalf of our kids. The dedication and ribbon cutting today is symbolic as the official start of a new era of educational opportunities for our students. They have a tradition of academic achievement that spans over 50 years, and they will now have a facility that supports their efforts. The interaction between teachers and students is certainly the cornerstone of all achievement here at our school. There is always an expectation from staff and from parents that our kids will work hard to learn and to succeed. But the special aspect of our school is that our students have this expectation for themselves. They are self-directed learners, and when you tour the building today, you will be impressed at how well this facility was designed to complement their work. You will see bright classrooms with up-to-date technology. You'll see breakout areas for student cooperative work, computer and science labs to meet all modern standards, and art, music, and athletic areas that support a truly comprehensive program of studies. The recently completed renovation has also afforded us with a new business technology center, additional classrooms, and a beautiful fitness room donated by the Wax Family Scholarship Fund in memory of their son, Ian, a 2000 graduate of LHS. I'd also like to point out when you tour today that you should take a look at another donation by Phil and Vicki Wax, and that is the Tree of Courage, which is located on the wall as you enter the gymnasium. There will be information if you are interested in purchasing a memorial leaf for a special person in your life. Proceeds will be utilized to support teacher and student initiatives under the direction of the principal and superintendent of schools. And once again, we thank the Wax family for what a tremendous asset they added to our school. We also have a new home for LCTV, and they have graciously begun to offer educational experiences for our students in their state-of-the-art studio. During your walk around, I encourage you to speak with many students who have joined us today to express their appreciation to all of you. They will be happy to discuss their experience in the new school. As a matter of fact, I'd like to share one of the favorite comments that I heard from students when we moved in February. When they walked in and got their first look at the facility, many of them said, "We're going to need to start dressing better." You're going to hear a lot of beautiful music today from our ensembles during the ceremony, and I want to thank them ahead of time for being here with us today. Please also take time today to take a look at the art show that's in the main lobby, and if you get a chance, peek into the gymnasium and see the volleyball team enjoying that new space. And finally, I'd like to return to what is our most important goal for today, and that is to stress our thanks and appreciation to the community of Long Meadow. You have provided a wonderful opportunity for our students, and we promise you that they will be proud of their accomplishments and pleased with your investment in their future. Thank you very much. And now it is my pleasure to introduce a gentleman I think has spent more time here than I have in the last year, Robert Barkat, Chair of our School Building Committee. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Where's Betsy? Where is she? Thumbs up. Thank you, Mr. Birdie, Mr. Ferreira. Thank you for that. That's wonderful. You should have just given it to my family. My wife is probably going to just take the sweatshirt and hat. So you're going to go straight there as well. I'm also going to act as MC today, and I'll transition from speaker to speaker for you. I also wanted to thank the musical members of Lyrics who are going to be performing today, the trombonophones, all under the musical direction of our vocal music director, Kayla Werlin. Here we are. I do feel like I spend a lot of time here. Excuse me. I have a personal challenge. My personal challenge is I don't get to enjoy the moment. I kind of run right past it. And a much wiser man than I spoke to me this morning, Dr. McGarry, and said, enjoy the moment. Enjoy the milestone. So I guess that's what we're here to do today. Thank you for that. I'm going to take a breath. Thank you. Molly, I had tears in my eyes, and thank you for doing that, because now I'm going to be choked up for the rest of the day. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for coming to help us celebrate the new Long Meadow High School and our dedication ceremony. Please bear with me for a few moments while I recognize our guests. With us today, we have State Representative Brian Ash, Massachusetts School Building Authority Executive Director Jack McCarthy, School Committee Chairperson Michael Clark, Select Board Chair Marie Angelides, Superintendent Marie Doyle, Town Manager Stephen Crane, Principal Larry Birdie, as you know, Lancer Pride's Beth Barron. We have our Junior Class President, Anthony Ferreira. Thank you, Anthony. My co-chair, Peter Greenberg. School Committee, Select Board members, other Town Committee members, our School Building Committee members. Thank you. Our project managers, Jocelyn Lesser, wave, just give a wave, quick wave, there you go. All right. OMR Architects, our design team, there they are. Gilbane Construction Company, thank you, Ryan, Long Meadow High School grad. The dedication organizers, where are you? You did a phenomenal job. Where are you? Somebody wave. There you are, Michael, there you are, thank you very much. Representatives of public safety and our maintenance crews, our faculty, staff, students, and of course, all of you, the residents of the town of Long Meadow. Thank you for coming and welcome. It's hard to believe we embarked on this journey in 2004. Actually, Dr. McGarry, under your direction with the school committee at the time, commissioned a facility study in an effort to explore the physical conditions of our high school as well as the challenges surrounding co-compliance and ultimately the delivery of education. In 2007, the town of Long Meadow submitted a statement of interest to the School Building Authority, now known as the Massachusetts School Building Authority, the MSBA. In 2009, Long Meadow voted to approve a feasibility study which explored every aspect of our high school from layout, building envelope, mechanical systems, co-compliance, and on and on. In 2010, the MSBA accepted our findings and cleared Long Meadow for a special town meeting vote. During that time frame, a group called Lancer Pride was formed. In the spring of 2010, the town of Long Meadow voted to approve the construction project and this new facility. In 2011, we broke ground about right over there. And now, in September of 2013, here we are, nearly finished. I say nearly because there's a few bricks in the back that still need to be done. We won't show you what that is right yet. The overall site is comprised of 180,000 square feet of new construction and approximately 50,000 square feet of renovated space. Add some parking, a couple fields, and some landscaping, and there you have it. Here's our new project. As I wrote this timeline, it all seemed so compact, simple, and uncomplicated. Yeah, so much for that, right? By the time we finish up with the commissioning, the auditing, and the accounting, the high school project will reach its conclusion sometime in the fall of 2014, a little more than 10 years later. How did we get here? There were countless meetings with faculty, staff, parents, meetings with other town boards, committees, public forums, educational visioning, workshops, visits to other school districts, interviews with those principals and superintendents, design reviews, another design review, more design reviews, conference calls, emails, and countless phone calls. We tried the patience of our faculty, our tremendous faculty and staff. We worked around students and schedules. Our neighbors on Grassy Gutter Road, Bliss Road, and William Street have been extremely patient through the construction, and we thank you for hanging in there. Let's have a round of applause for our immediate neighbors. The building itself has been occupied by students and staff since February 26th, the first day in the new school. I'd like to quote John Fitzgerald. On that day, John said to me, "This building became a school today." John, you're absolutely right. Though we engaged in a visioning and design process and we visited school districts with new schools, observing new technologies and building practices, this structure we built was only a building. It was only a building until our teachers and students breathed life into it. Then it became a school. Thank you for that, John. Our school building committee has appreciated our town's reputation for delivering outstanding education. We work diligently to give the town of Long Meadow a high school worthy of our history. At this time, I'd like to personally thank all the school building committee members, both past and present, for their dedication and persistence, as well as their composure and commitment to this endeavor. My co-chair, Peter Greenberg, Superintendent Marie Doyle, Town Manager Stephen Crane, Principal Larry Birdie, Vice Principal Paul Dunkerley, our town's Chief Financial Officer Paul Pasturzik, our DPW Director Mike Rabel, school committee representatives John Fitzgerald and Jim DeRozier, Select Board Representative Mark Gold, community representatives Rich Bistran, Roland Joyle, and Ron Hirsch. Past members have served on our committee include former Superintendent Jan Hart. Great to see you today, Jan. Former Town Manager Robin Crosby. Select Board members Marie Angelides, Paul Santinello, Christine Swanson, who couldn't make it with us today, and we wish her well. She has moved down south. And Mark Borowski. Mark, I know you're someplace. You can feel free to grab a sax and jump in if you like. School representatives Gwen Bruns, Jen Jester, Lori Flynn, and community representatives Danielle Judge and Mark Sorolnik. It takes a long time to build a school, and there's a lot of people involved, and I didn't want to miss any of those names. Additionally, there are many unsung heroes that help make a project of this magnitude really come together, such as Congressman Richard Neal, State Senator Gail Canderas, State Representative Ryan Ash, Beth Barron and the Lancer Pride team, Leaf, Sawyer Hicks, Dina Mary Roganis, Pete Landon, Becky Townsend, Craig Carr, Tom Ewing, Adrian Finuff, and the entire custodial and maintenance team. The Wax family, Wilbur Swan, Peter Thompson, Police Chief Robert Ciano, Captain John Stankiewicz, our School Resource Officer Pam Chaplin, Fire Chief Eric Madsen, Fire Inspector Jay Muscata, Building Inspector Paul Healy, our Pupil Services Director Sue Bertrand, Assistant Superintendents Tom Mazza and Kelly Ganji, our IT Director Kevin Warenda, Yeoman's Work, Dave Bartlett and the entire LCTV staff, and finally our phenomenal teachers and support staff. Oftentimes, these folks are not recognized for their countless hours of hard work and dedication. All of you help make Longmeadow a wonderful community in which to live. I received a very nice phone call yesterday from Michael Rosenfeld, owner of OMR Architects. He wanted me to convey to everybody his appreciation for OMR's participation in our project and wish us well in this ceremony. So, best to Michael. Peter Greenberg. What can I say? Last year you accepted the co-chair position, and boy, oh boy, you did it with gusto. You exemplified the meaning of stewardship. You've attended construction meetings, met with contractors, engineers, architects, visited this site almost every day, including nights and weekends and holidays. You and I speak every day, and I'm sorry for that. Sometimes several times a day. We've spoken late into the night on countless occasions, problem solving, vetting issues, meeting deadlines. I've come to respect you immensely, sir. Folks, Peter probably wouldn't admit it, but since he's been here, he could be considered the most influential person on this project. Without his tenacity, persistence, and maturity, this project would not be what it is today. Peter, thank you for taking on the responsibility, and please join me in thanking him. Since 2004, I visited many schools throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, in the state of Connecticut, traveled to Boston, meeting with the MSBA, visited our project management team in Watertown and our architectural team in Acton. I visited Congressman Neal in Washington, seeking his insight, all in an effort to secure the best result for our town. It's been an absolute pleasure serving all of you in this capacity. That said, I'd like to thank three special people that had as much to do with this project as any committee members on any board in town. My wife, Tracy, my son, Alec, and my daughter, Olivia. You think 10 years you're prepared for this, but I love you all very much and could not have done this without your support. Alec and Olivia, I hope when you graduate you're as proud of being an LHS grad as I am. Tracy, you've been my partner for nearly 20 years. I know you didn't sign up for this, but I couldn't have done it without you. Please know I love you very much. Thank you. At this time, I have the absolute pleasure of introducing my co-chair, Peter Greenberg.
You got it. I'll get you back. I'll get you back. Thank you, Bobby. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to first recognize my fellow co-chair, Bobby Barquette. It's clear to me that we wouldn't be here today celebrating our new high school without his leadership, commitment, and fortitude bringing this project forward. Our children would still be sitting in the same classrooms as I did back in the early 70s without the many sacrifices Bobby made to make LHS a priority in his life over the last 6 years. Longmeadow is lucky to have a leader like Bobby Barquette. Please show your gratitude and give him a rousing round of applause. While I've been a member of the school building committee since it was established in 2008, I never realized its scope of complexity and the time commitment needed to oversee its construction until I unwittingly, and that's unwittingly, volunteered to fill the co-chair position in early 2012, left open when Christine Swanson, who along with Bobby got the project off the ground, relocated down south. Because it was easier for me to spend more time on site, I was able to attend weekly meetings with the construction team, which gave me an inside perspective of the pulse of the project. I quickly realized that we had chosen the right people to design, build, and oversee the work on our town's behalf. Each one took ownership in the project, and it shows in this unbelievable end result. It's only fair that I introduce these folks today. Please stand when I call your name. From OMR Architects, Michael Rosenfeld, Gene Roberts, Bonnie Peters, Chuck Kohler, and Eric Johnson. Chuck and Eric have worked very closely with us from the start of the project. While we've thrown them a few curveballs by adding scope, in the end they designed a 21st century facility that met every one of our goals. Thank you very much, OMR. It's a masterpiece. From Gilbane Building Company, Ryan Hutchins, Bill Carney, Tony Icarino, Corey Dyer, Beth Paulson, Mike Forwood, Glenn Nielsen, and Pat Lawson. Although Tony was not able to attend today, I'd like to offer my sincere appreciation for his extraordinary efforts here. Tony has been in charge of the construction since day one, and along with his staff and subcontractors, has built us a first-class high school with all the bells and whistles, the envy of others, which will last us another 50 years, hopefully more. From Joss and Lesser Associates, our owner's project manager group, Stuart Lesser, Jeff Luxembourg, Tom Murphy, and Rob Alger. Please stand. I can honestly say that we couldn't have done it without the Herculean efforts of both Tom and Rob, guiding us through the 4-year process of visioning, design, build, and the future closeout of the project. I think for the last 6 months, both Bobby and I spoke more to those two guys every day than our wives, right, Bobby? They have represented the town's interests well, and we look forward to the day sometime next fall when all the final documents are signed and the state reimbursements received, that we can go out and buy you two a beer. Thank you both very much. I would like to echo Bobby's thanks to all my fellow school building committee members, town and school administrators, department heads, and employees that worked so hard with the construction team to get us here today. And I can't forget to recognize my wife, Marge, for putting up with me for these last couple years. We became empty nesters in the fall of 2011, and I promised her more attention. Then I volunteered to help Bobby as co-chair a couple months later, and well, you know what that meant. Marge, thanks for supporting me and listening to my belly aching. I promise it's almost done, and then I'll be all yours. Maybe you don't want that. I would like to close by thanking the Mass School Building Authority and the residents of Long Meadow. Together we have created a legacy for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and beyond. Long Meadow is a great town to live in, and we have now taken a big step to guarantee its educational success for many years to come. Thank you.
Yeah, you got me. Thank you, Mr. Greenberg. It's my pleasure at this time to invite up the leader of Lancer Pride, Beth Barron.
Thank you, Bobby. At this time, I am going to ask my co-leader, Sherry Ehrenberg, to come join me on the podium. I know she's reluctant, but she deserves to be up here just as much as I do, and we truly were a team. Gotcha. Good afternoon, distinguished guests and Long Meadow community. I'd like to thank Superintendent Doyle and School Committee member Michael Clark for asking me to speak at today's dedication ceremony. It allows me the opportunity to publicly thank the Long Meadow community for the first time since Lancer Pride was formed 3.5 years ago. Congratulations, Long Meadow. Be so very proud of what we've accomplished here. Thank you for all the outpouring of support and encouragement as our astonishing team of women behind Lancer Pride set out on the task of educating the community on the merits of this project. When Sherry, Kim, Denise, and I first sat down to define our goal and get to work, we realized immediately how monumental the task before us was. Back in the winter and spring of 2010, many of the town's residents couldn't understand the merits of this great investment. Sherry, Kim, Denise, and I, along with our team of countless volunteers, thank you, Bobby, for mentioning so many of them by name, were welcomed into your homes, businesses, schools, and senior communities to effectively communicate the value of this project, not only for the students of Long Meadow, but for the entire town. Thank you, Lancer Pride supporters, for amazing me on May 25th, 2010, with a resounding yes vote amidst a sea of purple cards in the old gymnasium here. And again on June 8th, when you overwhelmingly voted yes for LHS. This is a proud accomplishment for all of us, one of which I'm reminded of almost daily when I drive by this school. I'm especially aware when my children say to me, "You did a great job on this, Mom. Thank you for our new school." So I'd like to say two very important things in closing. First, to all of our wonderful students in the Long Meadow Public School System, please thank your parents, your grandparents, and your neighbors for voting yes for LHS 3 years ago. Without them, there would be no this. Secondly, be good stewards of this incredible institution. Take care of it, treat it well, respect it, value it, and in turn, it will provide you with a wealth of memories and opportunities. Thank you for making a smart investment in the future of Long Meadow, and congratulations, Long Meadow.
The trombonophones. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the Massachusetts School Building Authority Executive Director, Jack McCarthy. Look at that. Last time we actually had a flyover. I couldn't coordinate it today.
Should have called Richie Neal. On behalf of Treasurer Grossman, who's the chair of my board, and the rest of my colleagues at the MSBA, thank you for inviting me to participate. The mission of the Mass School Building Authority is to partner with Massachusetts school districts to promote the design and construction of educationally appropriate, flexible, sustainable, and cost-effective public school facilities. And this project certainly exceeds that ideal. We are your partner in this, and we're in for about a little over $33 million of the project cost, and we couldn't be prouder to be your investing partner. I just want to just comment on the fine work of that quartet. Being a lower brass guy myself, I played baritone horn. I'm sick of the trumpet players getting all the credit and all the glory, so you guys kick butt. And is Molly still here? Where's Molly, who sang the national anthem? She's still here? She's hiding? Well, I'm a big fan of The Voice, that show, The Voice, If Molly, if I was a judge, I would have turned my chair around after about 3 seconds when she started, so. It's funny, as you're lower down the speaking list, people kind of say what you were going to say. And this is the first time anyone did the thanking of the community like I always did, so the folks from Lancer Pride, that was really good. And I actually do the same thing about the students thanking their neighbors and their parents. But it always amazes me, you know, you got people, you convince people, you educated people to actually go out and raise their own taxes. And that always is, it's not what you'd expect. And so I always wonder why, and it's usually a combination of these two things. It's a combination in the belief of your local community leaders, your school committee, your superintendent, your selectmen. And then it's your legislative delegation with Senator Canderas and Representative Ash. You believe that they have the expertise, and then you couple that with the belief that these children deserve a 21st century education. And that's what motivates people to, in some ways, vote against their own pocketbooks. But, and it happens, and it's a beautiful thing when it happens, because then you know that there's nice cooperation between the boards. And I was saying to Jeff from Jocelyn, I said, you know, we didn't hear that much about this project, so you guys must have done a good job. We only hear about the ones that are problems, so this one went along swimmingly. And I did notice, Jeff, that he admitted he added scope, so when you come looking for it, for that money, I wrote that down, just so you know, Peter. But you have a long speaking program yet to go, so I'm going to say goodbye and just happy to be at the new home of the Lancers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McCarthy. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Select Board Chair, the Honorable Marie Angelides.
Thank you, Bobby. This is the high school that the whole town of Longmeadow built. Whether you were here at the beginning of the project when it was just a dream, or at the very end, this is your accomplishment. Whether on that hot May night you voted for the high school or you voted against it, this is your accomplishment. In the great tradition of New England town meetings, after we did that vote, the town all came together and made this dream a reality, and it's a beautiful high school. This high school is a testament to the hard work of countless volunteers that Bobby and Peter couldn't even mention. But all of you know the hour, the 2 hours, the week she put in, the town came together in this, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a testament to the dedicated workers and employees we have here in town. And it shows the shared sacrifice of every member of the Longmeadow Town Committee and residents. In my role as the chair of the Select Board and as for representing the town, I would like to accept the stewardships of this new high school. At this point, it's very important that we take this stewardship and we care for this beautiful new town treasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marie. And this time I'd like to introduce the school committee chair, the Honorable Michael Clark. Extremely honorable.
Hello. Couldn't ask for a better day, could we? It's beautiful out. Okay. I am so excited to be able to speak here and so honored that we get to share this together today. This really is a building that was built by the entire community, and so I'm incredibly grateful to be here today. We talked a lot about the history of this project, but I think it's important to recognize the history of education in Longmeadow. In 1954, seeing a need, the town of Longmeadow made an investment in education that would serve a growing school population, offering modern and high-quality amenities to students and teachers to succeed and thrive. They built a high school that would stand on this spot, well, actually more like that spot, for 60 years, a building that would bear witness to some of the most significant events of the 20th century. From the Cold War to the fall of the Soviet Union, from the civil rights marches on Washington to the election of our first African-American president, this building was conceived from the idea that we would prepare students to enter an ever-changing world full of challenges and opportunities, and that they would leave this world a little better than they found it. Today, we congregate to dedicate a new building conceived from the same concept, that all students deserve an education that will allow them to succeed. This building is more than a testament to high-quality education. Rather, it's a renewal of our values as a community. It's a set of values that says we understand that education is among the greatest investments we can make as a community. A set of values that says that we acknowledge the potential of future generations' ability to thrive, and a set of values that makes Longmeadow uniquely Longmeadow. We are a people dedicated to a set of values and ideals, and they define us. And we've demonstrated this time and time again, from town meeting to the ballot box. In Longmeadow, we support education because we know how important it truly is. But this set of values also comes with a responsibility. The responsibility maintaining this facility to a standard that we can all be proud of, and ensuring the safety of this investment for future generations. We saw the old high school fall apart because of deferred maintenance, and those things led to serious structural and safety issues. We cannot, and we will not, let this building fall into the same disrepair. This building, this edifice of education, is our expression of these values that we share, and it really is a beautiful centerpiece for our community that we can all be proud of. But it's incumbent upon those who lead this community to keep it safe. And as I look across the crowd today, I see people of all walks of life. I see senior citizens and students. I see young adults and teachers, all gathered here for the same purpose. When I spoke with Treasurer Grossman, who did express his sincere regrets that he could not be here today, he described this event as a generational one. The type of event that many of us will only see once in our lives, and today is truly that kind of day. It's a day where we can all celebrate the incredible achievement that we've made as a community. I know Marie mentioned that the gym was very hot that night, and I think most of us remember exactly how hot it was. But like you, I sat in that gym and I saw this building become a reality. And like so many of you, I would drive to work in the morning, and then I would drive home in the afternoon and see a new wall go up, or a new brick, or a new piece of steel erected in just a matter of hours. And I would drive by with this sort of sense of awe. It's a very special feeling to be able to dedicate this building today, especially because it's a building that so many of us worked so hard to see accomplished. There are so many people to thank for this becoming a reality. And for starters, we need to start with Bobby Barquette, who really has lived here for the last 3 years at least. Peter Greenberg, who took the reins on this project and has really been here just as much as Bobby. Superintendent Marie Doyle for all of her hard work. She's going to probably share an anecdote, but they actually call her the Iron Lady because she's really held the line on this. State Representative Brian Ash, Senator Kondaris, who could not be here today, Representative Neal, who could not be here today, for their work in helping us navigate the treacherous waters that is the state government, as well as Principal Larry Birdie, who not only has been involved in this project since its very beginning, but it really saw an incredibly smooth transition from the old building to the new building that really would not have been possible without the quality of leadership that we have with him. Obviously, the members of the school committee who have come and gone, most specifically Jen Jester, who is responsible for just so much of this building, from the roof down to really the fabric on the chairs. It's true. Joe Aberdale and Lancer Pride, as well as Beth Barron, who spoke today. Really, they started at a kitchen table, and they got this accomplished for the entire community, and that's pretty admirable. And finally, the select board for all of their work on this building. But more importantly, not finally, but more importantly, we need to thank the community. From the very beginning of this project, we've really tried to make this about the community and really tried to make this the type of building that everybody can feel welcome in. And over the last couple of days, we've been able to share this building with neighbors as our way of saying sorry for all the dust and debris. And we've also been able to share it with the senior community yesterday. And we got to hear that brass quartet, and we got to hear members of Lyrics yesterday, and it was phenomenal. And we really want everyone to feel welcome in this building because this is their building. This is your building, and it's a building that we can all be truly proud of. So thank you very much. That's me. Oh, I have one more thing. And you can't get rid of me that easy. Senator Warren was invited today. She's unable to make it. Her aide Everett was here, although I'm not sure if he's here anymore, but I just wanted to read from Senator Warren. I would like to congratulate the town of Longmeadow on opening this beautiful new high school. It is truly a magnificent facility. I'd like to say hello to my good friends, Representative Brian Ash. Longmeadow is very lucky to have such a great representative on Beacon Hill. Kids here in Longmeadow and across the Commonwealth are fortunate to live in a place that puts such value in education. Good public schools are what we need to ensure that kids in Massachusetts have the best possible foundation to go on to higher learning and compete in a global market. The success of our students is thanks in no small part to the amazing work of Superintendent Marie Doyle and all of the members of the Longmeadow School Committee, as well as the Longmeadow Board of Selectmen who helped make this project possible. Last but not least, I'd like to acknowledge all of the public school teachers who are out there every day ensuring a better future for our kids and our country. We can't thank you enough for your dedication. Congratulations once again. I hope to see you all soon. So thank you to Senator Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. It's my pleasure to introduce our state representative, the Honorable Brian Ash.
Good afternoon, everybody. What a beautiful day it is out here. I hope everybody brought suntan lotion out there. I know back here we're kind of in the shade, so we're not getting it, but it's a gorgeous day out here, not just because of the weather, but everything this means for the town of Longmeadow. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to tour this beautiful new high school, please do. This is absolute beautiful high school. Is a perfect centerpiece for the town of Longmeadow. And I have to comment too, when the high school was done, I had a tour and it is breathtaking. But until the last month or so, when the landscaping started to come together, you can really appreciate the beauty from the outside. So please, I know everybody gets to see it driving by, but please take the time if you haven't already to go inside. Before I read some remarks, I do want to thank, if people, when they're coming in, saw a booth over there for LEAF, the Longmeadow Educational Excellence Foundation. LEAF helps Longmeadow High School and all Longmeadow schools, and they pick up where the budget stops for the schools, and they help immensely. So please, if you support LEAF, you support our schools. I also want to acknowledge Senator Markey, Senator Warren, Congressman Neal, Treasurer Grossman, and Senator Canderas. Unfortunately, they could not be here, but all send their well wishes. And before I read some remarks, I'd like to present a citation. If Superintendent Doyle could come up. Citation from the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to the town of Longmeadow in recognition of the dedication of the new Longmeadow High School, which will continue to provide academic excellence to the community for years to come. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success. Given this, the 28th day of September, 2013, signed by the Speaker of the House and by me, State Representative Brian Ash. Congratulations.
Thank you, Brian. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
What a great day for the town of Longmeadow, the entire town of Longmeadow. Our town is one of the safest around because we have a remarkable police department, as well as our fire department and EMS. Our roadways are in superb condition because of our DPW, and our schools are second to none in Western Mass. Our town is the way it is because of all of our departments working together and complementing each other. None would succeed without the help of the others. But it's our schools that attract families to move to Longmeadow, and it's the quality of education that keeps them here, as well as keeping our property values where they are. So the grand opening of our beautiful new high school isn't just for those families that have students in the high school or those that will have students here in the future. The high school is for the benefit of the entire town. just as we all benefit from our police, our fire, and our DPW. This is really an honor for me, both as a state representative of the town of Longmeadow and as a resident, husband, and father in this beautiful community. I'm happy that I was able to play a role in helping this process move through the proper channels and stay on track, especially in the early going. Secondly, and more importantly, this is the reason my wife Sonia and I moved to Longmeadow 20 years ago. We came here, like so many others, because we wanted to live in a town that was safe and gave us the opportunity to raise a family and send our children to the best school system in Western Massachusetts. Today, we have a 15-year-old son, Tiernan, who is a sophomore in this high school, and a 13-year-old daughter, Kira, at Williams Middle School. We couldn't be happier with the decision that we made to raise our children in Longmeadow, and today only emphasizes that decision. I want to thank everyone who had anything to do with making this high school project a reality. A project like this doesn't happen overnight, and it takes a lot of people coming together and staying together for a long period of time. I can remember serving on the select board 7 or 8 years ago and talking with then school committee member Bobby Barquette about the needs of our then old and tired high school. And then having a similar conversation with Bobby again a couple years later when he was serving on the select board with me. It's because of the commitment and perseverance of people like Bobby Barquette, Peter Greenberg, our current school committee chairman Michael Clark, our past superintendent Jan Hart, our current superintendent Marie Doyle, our principal Larry Birdie, and so many other individuals, committees, and groups that are too many to name, but all play an important role in the success of this project. We are lucky here in Longmeadow because our administrators, our teachers, and our students have shown us all that they can teach and learn in any environment. They have shown that their commitment to educate and to learn and have continuously been the best of the best in Western Massachusetts and throughout the Commonwealth. This new high school is our commitment to our administrators, our teachers, and most importantly, our students. Not only do they need this new high school, they deserve it. Thank you all so much, and congratulations.
Okay, it is my pleasure to introduce our superintendent of schools for the town of Longmeadow, Marie Doyle.
Good afternoon. Today the sun shines brightly and the air feels festive. Yet it is such a solemn day as we dedicate the $78 million high school to the town of Longmeadow. Many of you have given through your tax dollars and committee work to make this day a reality. We stand before a monumental high school, a state-of-the-art building, fit for the excellent school system that Longmeadow has. Within the past year, we've been voted the best town in Massachusetts in which to live. We've been recognized as one of the top 10 communities in the United States as well. Just recently, Longmeadow High School came in first place in the MCAS due to the high academic achievement of our students. Generation after generation returned to this town, passing along the traditions of being good neighbors and valuing education. Yesterday, I spoke to the senior citizens about their sacrifices to keep Longmeadow one of the top communities in the country. What makes Longmeadow so special? First, it is the senior citizens. Many do not have children or grandchildren in the district, but they continue to support the schools. They voted for this magnificent new building, even though it meant an increase in taxes. You, our senior citizens, are role models for our young people. You give time and time again to our schools. You recognize that the only way that the United States will remain world leaders is by providing the best education to these smart, civically minded young people. I hope they will follow your lead and repay the community by becoming ethical, intelligent citizens who are environmentalists and globally aware leaders. The history book call our senior citizens the silent generation, as they have lived through all the wars. They have given time and time again of their service, taxes, and support without complaint. They are truly models of what citizenship means. Next, I would like to thank other citizens of Longmeadow. Thank you to the neighbors who lived through our construction. Thank you to the parents and citizens of this community for their efforts to bring forth the state-of-the-art high school. I would be remiss if I did not mention Lance's Pride, the group that sat around a kitchen table and asked, why can't we have a new high school? They worked to spread the word of the deplorable condition of the old facility, gather votes, and work to watch their dream come true. Thank you, Lance's Pride. This wouldn't have happened without you. Thank you, Lance's Pride, for teaching young people that dreams, coupled with hard work, can make dreams become a reality. To the students, I say watch and learn from the senior citizens, Lance's Pride, your parents and community members. Remember always the sacrifices they made to give you a new high school. Learn what civic responsibility really means and pay it forward when it comes your turn to vote for a school or a school budget, even when you don't have children in the schools. All of us are responsible for preparing the future generation, and it is a responsibility that cannot be taken lightly. Thank you to the parents for your support. Not only have you supported the new school, but you give through LEAF, SEAL, PLACE, and taxes to provide an enriching education for all of our children. We now have a state-of-the-art high school. You will see this as you tour the building today. Technology has been integrated throughout the building. Music labs, art studios, world language labs, technology room, the library, guidance, BTC, and more to make this a 21st century school. These tools will prepare students educationally to be front runners when they apply to the best colleges throughout the United States. The science lab provides facilities where experiments will happen in physics, biology, and chemistry. Other subject areas benefit from their electronic whiteboards, and all share the love of technology. We also appreciate the new gym and fields, as our athletes will continue to excel with this added luster. Finally, my thanks go to the architects from OMR, the construction company Gilbane, especially Tony, who did name me the Iron Lady, Jonathan Lesser, and the building committee. Particular thanks go to the building committee for their tireless work over several years. I also thank Tom McGeary and Jan Hart, my predecessors, for their leadership in making this day come true. My final thanks go to three special men, Bobby Barquette, Peter Goldberg, and Larry Birdie. I would ask them to please come forward. Come on up. Mr. Clark, could you come and assist with the gifts? Come on up on stage, man. Join me over here.
Go.
You've heard about Bobby and Peter working tirelessly, and Larry, but I can't stress that enough. I was leaving the building last night at 6 o'clock, and there's Peter Greenberg. Okay, we all said I want them to get those dead trees out, and those branches have to be removed. The ceremonies tomorrow. I get home, putting dinner on, and there's Bobby Barquette. All right, let's go through what's going to happen at the ceremony tomorrow. And they have the chairs and everything set up. They've been on every single detail, and what's critical is building is chairmen that are, because a lot goes wrong, and every superintendent I speak to says the devil's in the detail. If you don't get that punch list done, then you've done damage to the community and building, because you're forever paying bills on what wasn't done. They have been tenacious. They've been on punch lists, and they're watching everything. Larry's been the guy in the trenches, making sure that we know what's going on, what's working, what's not working. So I think that we're giving you a state-of-the-art high school that is really ready to serve you for the next 100 years. Thanks to these three men. So, on the new projects, we have a present for each of them. The first one goes to Larry Birdie. We'd like to congratulate you and hope you'll use this on future projects. Thank you for all you did. Okay. Peter Greenberg, congratulations. Use it well.
Thank you.
And Bobby Barquette. At this point, I'd ask Bobby and Peter to stay on stage, as Larry and I and Deb Callahan would like to present a gift on behalf of the staff. I'll hold your shovels for a sec.
A little across.
Okay. If you just stand here, please.
Oh,
Stay up. Okay. Deb?
I'm in swinging distance.
As we've been walking through the new building and the demolition, I've been picking up pieces from all over, and Bobby was thinking I was a clean freak, or he was annoyed with me because I wasn't paying attention to his his lecture as we went around. But we have pieces of the building that our teachers and the students put together. Honors Art did these for Bobby and Peter. So on behalf of the students and staff. Deb? Okay, I'll introduce you. Deb, hop in.
Come on.
Step in for a picture. I'd like to introduce Deb Callahan, our art teacher, to say a few words on behalf of the staff.
Welcome. I bet you never thought you'd get artwork like that anytime soon. So my favorite part about the artwork, besides that the AP class made them together with their teacher, Judy Nielsen, is picturing Marie scrounge around the building site, dredging up all that stuff. She collected it all last June, and I kept it in a box. Marie is secretly an artist. Anyway, on behalf of the staff, I was asked to say a few words. They don't know I'm speaking, but I know I can speak for them. It's always been a joy to work here, and it hasn't always been easy to work at Long Meadow High School because it hasn't been all that comfortable or all that convenient. But now those days are over, and now it's just a total joy to teach at Long Meadow High School, and I think everyone would want to acknowledge Larry. Larry's been through a lot with this project and has navigated through happy versus unhappy staff members, stressed out, cranky, excited staff members, and a lot of logistics, and he's just been the best. Thank you to the town, and obviously everyone. Thank you to the architects. The aesthetics of the building are amazing. As an artist, I completely appreciate that. But thanks for making our life much easier and letting us accomplish a lot more in a school day with our students. Thank you.
Reach out from all lands, chorus of voices, the clasping of hands, sing hymns that were sung by the stars the morn. Sing songs of the angels when the earth was born. With glad jubilations, bring hope to the nations. The dark night is ending, and dawn has begun. Arise, hope of the ages, arise, like the sun. Oh, speech flows to music. Oh, hearts beat as one. Dark, dark night is ending, and dawn has begun. Blow bugles of battle, the march of peace, east, west, sing of glory to God and of goodwill to man. Joining in chorus, the heavens bend o'er us, the dark night is ending, and dawn has begun. Arise, hope of the ages, arise, like the sun, and all speech flows to music. All hearts beat is one. The dark, dark night is ending, and dawn has begun.
Members of Lyrics have shown up. There we go. Our soloists were Matthew Garrity and Cynthia Camacho. Thank you very much. That was wonderful. And our vocal music director, Kayla Werland. Thank you again for joining us. We're almost there. One quick note. I'm a member of the class of 1983, and it is with great pleasure that I looked over towards Lyrics and I saw Sophia Lipp. Sophia Lipp's mom, Nikki Angeles Lipp. Where are you, Nick? There we are. We graduated together in 1983. I love you, and I love to see that my son and your daughter are in the same class together, and here we are, many years later, 30 years exactly later. All right. At this time, I'd like to introduce our town manager, Mr. Stephen Crane.
Good afternoon. When I first arrived and saw the program, I thought, I'm not going to have to sing, am I? I think it's best for all of us that it was them and not me. An important part of how a community tells its story to the outside world is through its architecture. The grandeur of the historic homes in town shows that those who built Longmeadow clearly understood this. When I first arrived in town, the story that I saw was that Longmeadow has a rich history and many proud traditions, that its current residents embrace their duty as guardians of that legacy, as you have shown through the monumental effort you put forth in bringing this really amazing, amazing project from concept to completion. And perhaps the most compelling part of the story is that your effort will provide future generations with the opportunity to build on that legacy and lead Longmeadow to an even brighter future. As a new resident, I thank you for building this treasured community asset. As your town manager, I give you my solemn oath that I will work every day to honor and enhance the Longmeadow story. Thank you.
Almost. Did I say almost? Almost. At this time, I need to invite up my co-chair, Peter Greenberg, Superintendent Doyle, and Principal Birdie for the passing of the key. Key to the front door. You'd think with all the electronics, you could find a smaller key. This is courtesy of the art department. I'm not sure. Jen, did you select the color for this? It's part of the interior working group. here. So it is with great pleasure that Peter and I pass the key to the front door to Superintendent Doyle and Mr. Birdie, principal of our high school.